Okay, we're rolling. All right. Everybody in class, everybody at home, here we go. I'm going to talk to you about the metric system. There'll be another video released today just showing you how the metric system is based on water. But today I'm going to talk to you about, I'm going to talk to you about metric conversions, okay? So I'm zooming the board in here to where we're just looking at this. Okay, so. All right, you're used to using gallons and miles and things like that. But today I'm going to talk to you about the terms that we use when we talk about the metric system, all right? First of all, there are some things called base units. Hopefully this is going to work. Base units. The base unit of distance is meters, or what we call the meter, okay? And that's distance. All right, and a meter is this long. A meter is this long. This is a meter stick, okay? This is what a meter stick is. I am like 1.82 meters high. That's how high I am. That's my height. All right, so this is a meter stick, all right? And that's the basic unit. And you're going to see me spell it like this about half the time, M-E-T-R-E. And it doesn't matter. It's stupid, but this is a common spelling. That's English, and then E-R is American English, okay? So when you read textbooks or you read the word meter on the internet, you'll see meters and liters, etc. It's spelled R-E instead of E-R. It's the same thing. Don't let it throw you off. Does that make sense? So meter's a unit of distance. A liter, that is a unit of volume. Okay? And if you wonder what a liter is, a liter is 2 of these water bottles that you buy from Food Lion. Okay? A liter is 2 of these, because if you look at it, it says each one of these is 500 milliliters, all right? This is a liter. This is the size that a liter of water would be, okay? So that's a liter. The big water bottles that you buy, if you're really thirsty, you can buy the bigger water bottle that's just, fatter than this but the same height. That's a liter water bottle. Does that make sense? Okay, so meter's a unit of distance. Liter is a measure of volume, of liquid volume. And then the gram is the unit of mass, okay? So the base units, these are your base units, okay? So when we talk about grams and liters and meters, that will be like us talking about pounds and ounces and feet in the U.S. and nowhere else. Right, so I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, now, you're used to saying, "Oh, how far is Raleigh away?" Oh, it's 100 miles. Okay, that's about right. It's about 100 miles. Well, we're used to using different units, so I'm going to show you the units of the metric system, and these are the terms. These are the terms. Kilo. Make sure I'm fitting this on the board here. Right? Kilo means 1,000, like kilogram or kilometer, right? And then you have hecto. That means 100. Kilo, hecto. All right? And then you have deca. That means 10. And then you have your base unit. And this can be meters, liters, or grams. These are the base units. In other words, if you're just talking about one, Then over here we have deci. That means 1/10 or a decimal, right? A decimal place. Deci, that's D-E. Man, that's bad. Deci. There we go. And then, so deci is a decimal or 1/10. And then centa means 1/100th, like a cent. And then in the other Germanic languages, this means thousand, mil, milla, right? So milla doesn't mean 1/1,000,000th. It means 1,000th. All right. So let's just do a couple of these for practice because it's super simple. What if you had 3 kilometers? Okay? How many meters would that be? That would be, here's meters. So if we're talking about meters, meters is what we would make the ones place. Does that make sense? So you would just fill out zeros till you got to meters. 3 kilometers is 3,000 meters. Does that make sense? Right? 3 kilometers is 3,000 meters. So it would take 3,000 of these laid out end to end to make a distance that was 3 kilometers long. How many hectometers would it be? 30. How many decameters would it be? 300. How many meters would it be? 3,000. How many decimeters would be in 3 kilometers? Well, 30,000. Does that make sense? All right. Now let's talk about a way this can work with decimals. Let's say I measured myself. Okay? And I'll do it like this. I measure myself, and I go from here to here to here. And I'm doing a pretty good job, I think. I'll tell you when I come out in the end. Yeah, pretty good. 1.82. I'm 1.82 meters high. Okay? So let's write this down. 1.82 meters. Meters are our base. So I am 1 point, I put the point on the line, 82 meters high. That's my height. Okay? If Mr. Perkins is 1.82 meters tall, then I would tell you, if we lived in any other country, and you said, Mr. Perkins, how tall are you? I would say, I'm 182 centimeters. And you'd be like, okay, that looks about right. So, 182 centimeters. How many decimeters tall would I be? And no one would ever use that, but how many decimeters? 18.2 decimeters. That's how tall I am. Right? Does that make sense? Or, if you're talking about meters, Mr. Perkins, I'm unfamiliar with the metric system. How many meters tall are you? 1.82 meters. Does that make sense to everybody? So, when we're talking about meters, we put the decimal right here to the right of meters. If we're talking about decimeters, we put the decimal right here to the right of deci. So 18.2 decimeters. If we're talking about centimeters, then we could put the decimal here, but we don't need the decimal, 182 centimeters. You with me? So let's do one more for practice, and then there'll be some homework. So this will be the shortest, this is a really short video for the people at home. All right, let's do one more for practice. All right? You write it down. I'm not going to write it on the board. We'll give you a second to do it. Let's say you measured a desk, and it was 31 centimeters long. 31 centimeters long. It'd be a little kid desk. It was 31 centimeters long. You got to think about how to write 31 centimeters. on this? 31 centimeters. I'm going to give you guys a second. And I can't pause the video, people at home. So you're just going to have to wait for a second. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is figure out, what did we say, it was 31 centimeters? Figure out how to write 31 centimeters on this chart. Now notice, how many numbers can you put in each one of these slots? 1. So 31 centimeters means we have to end here under centa. So 31 centimeters. Is everybody with me on that? Everybody at home, does that make sense to you? So you would write 31 centimeters on this chart, and now I can ask you anything. All right? If I'm going to ask you how many kilometers long that desk was, how many kilometers wide, that'd be a ridiculous question, but the answer would be, well, it's 0, and now I'm asking you about kilometers, so what do I put right here on the line beside kilometers? Decimal, right? 0 point, and then we just slap some zeros. The width of that desk is 0.00031 kilometers wide. Does that make sense? That's it. That's the whole deal. Peace out, people at home. There's a homework that's coming with this.